used to read the boxing news religiously, like I still do. And in the magazine, I remember reading Tyson Fury's going around different gyms sparring, and if anyone can knock him out, they get to keep his Rolex. I'm hungry. I'm still hungry now. If you know me, I'm hungry. I was hungrier back then, you know. Like those assets and stuff were so far out of reach to me. So I remember him popping in the gym, and then coach says, "All right, Josh, you're sparring." I didn't really know who Tyson Fury was, but in the boxing gym, there's no word called no. So I just got my head guard on, gum shield in, and we just cracked on. And me and him just had a straight war. So what I learned about Fury is that we got the same heart. We're both fighting people, and we go to war. And I didn't manage to knock him out. We both hit each other some big shots, powerful shots. He's got the interview out there. And I think after that fight, he said years ago, he predicted and said, "Watch out for this kid. He'll be heavyweight champion of the world one day." And he got his prediction right.
Those are the words of Anthony Joshua as he explains his first encounter with the current WBC heavyweight champion of the world, Tyson the Gypsy King Fury, and how they met. And when they met, they were fighting. Okay? When I mean fighting, they were sparring. Okay? And you know, everyone knows how I feel about sparring. Sparring is the practice foundation behind what you do in the ring on the day, because you're still getting hit, you're still getting punched. The only difference is you have headgear on. You know, you don't have any protection to your body, your chest, your neck, right? Just your head and these, okay? And one thing I want to point out, he said that, hey, he was hungry back then, like he's hungry now, but he was hungrier then. So, you know, I'm going to get back to that in a second. But he said when he did go in there, he had an all-out war with Tyson the Gypsy King Fury. And he said these guys hit each other with some big shots. So it wasn't a one-sided beatdown through the explanation of Anthony Joshua. However, Tyson Fury had two different stories at two different times. But he said that, hey, this younger guy, this amateur, gave me the business, beat the hell out of me in sparring, beat the Hades out of me in sparring. And, you know, and you have to watch out for this guy, you know what I mean? And then he said, we have a fighting heart. So what that tells me, that Tyson Fury, first of all, predicted right, because he is the unified heavyweight champion of the world. The same belts that Tyson Fury won for a short segment of time against Vladimir Klitschko, Anthony Joshua now already has. So when he says, hey, we have fighting spirit and things of that nature, I think that interprets to me that those guys together get it on. I mean, nice scraps. You know what I mean? Tyson Fury's fast with the hands. Anthony Joshua likes combinations himself. And they both, I think, together with the styles that they have, it's a pretty good matchup, okay? I think the gloves and the leather will fly when those guys get in the ring, whenever that is, if that ever happens now. But it shows me also that Anthony Joshua didn't know who he was, which was a good thing. He didn't know who he was, so really much he didn't care. He wanted that Rolex, right? He wanted that Rolex, and so, you know, that was the motivation. I wanted that Rolex. He didn't get the Rolex because he didn't knock out Tyson Fury, but he gave it a go. That shows you that he was trying. So imagine what he was trying to do all the way back then, and he got that type of impression of Tyson Fury. Then imagine what he can do, or both of those guys can do now, okay? And Tyson Fury showed me that when he changed his story up, you know that was damage control, because, hey, some things you can't unsay, but you can add to something you've already said. So what Tyson Fury did was, oh, well, no, he barely did that. I hit him. He was going to quit. He was raising his legs and sparring, this, that, and the other. You know what I mean? He added more to it that people didn't know. But then, you know, you said if I had the chin like David Price, I would have been knocked out because the guy hit me with hard shots. You know, think about Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is known for his what? His defense. And so you've got caught with Anthony Joshua, and that was supposed to have been an uppercut. So the uppercut's supposed to caught Tyson Fury, and you've already been hit with those 2 right hands against Deontay Wilder. You can be hit. So that heavyweight Mayweather defense is not exactly heavyweight Mayweather defense. From time to time, people get hit. This is boxing. So you have to make that what you will. But as of Anthony Joshua, back to him, he's saying, I used to be hungrier. I used to be hungrier back then. I'm hungry now, but I used to be hungrier back then. So that tells you that he's filled a lot of his accomplishments. And the more accomplishments that you feel, the less hungry you become. I like how he put that in. I'm still hungry or whatever, but still, I was hungrier back then because he's done more in his career. He's been 2-time unified heavyweight champion of the world, and I think that hunger is still for that WBC to be undisputed. You know what I mean? So the question you ask yourself is, will he still be hungry, though, when he gets that WBC strap? But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Anthony Joshua explaining the encounter with Tyson Fury, the origin of him and his sparring session with Tyson the Gypsy King Fury. Tell me what you think. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.